2:25, hit 2:30 God's Gate, and they're nearly ready to go. Northern action tomorrow. The Eurythmic and the Crawford here Saturday. They're set. Starter holds them up. Off and racing. God's Gate away will, but nothing jumped better than All Metal, and speeding through one target. So God's Gate's going to find itself just a little wide at the end of 250. Going up behind them, leading Taddy and AHYEAHRIGHTO. Then 2 lengths Rainline. Over on the inside, next of all, Diamond Rocks when they settle down. Then came Ron's Final Flutter. Processio, Goalkeeper, Beccalotti well back. Dropping out last and Deep Camera Action. God's Gate goes on with it now and takes the lead. 600 left to go in the last. Goes to the front. God's Gate, a length and a half All Metal. Over on the outside to one target. The speed's been right on. In behind those, then AHYEAHRIGHTO looking to work off heels, but this leader still travelling very well. Further back, leading Taddy, and over on the inside to Diamond Rocks, but God's Gate headed for home. Came around the turn, just a little unbalanced, but led by 2, going very well from AHYEAHRIGHTO, starting to run on. He's got the shillelagh out on God's Gate, going past the 100. God's Gate's in front. AHYEAHRIGHTO trying to make a race of it. God's Gate stopping. AHYEAHRIGHTO is coming quickly. Got it on the line. AHYEAHRIGHTO has just touched off God's Gate. Ron's Final Flutter flew on the outside with Processio for third, and they were followed back in behind those to Rainline. All Metal was next, leading Taddy, Goalkeeper, Camera Action. One target dropped out, hunting that speed. Followed further back behind them, Diamond Rocks when they'd pulled up, and back with it as well, Beccalotti. Number 4, AHYEAHRIGHTO. 10:72.60. Gets home. Final event for the day, and it took the length of the straight. But it's AHYEAHRIGHTO for Brad Graham and Brad Parnham, cutting down God's Gate, allowed to slide clear at the top of the running by Lachdar. Run down late, and Ron's Final Flutter will grab third outside of Processio. So these numbers here are 4, 10, 14 and 12 in 109.88. Boy, didn't they run there. 109.88. They've broken a time of 110 here in the last. A long head, 1 1/4 the margins. Home in 35.22. And AHYEAHRIGHTO makes it 2 wins out of 4 starts this campaign, and enjoying a good trot with Brad Parnham in the saddle. Harry Angel Gelding from World of Hope in the yard of Brad Graham, and salutes for the 3rd time in 6 runs. And it was real tenacity that got it there late to get home over this talented God's Gate by playing God from the Neville Parnham yard. And in 3rd spot there, Ron's Final Flutter from Danny Morton's stable, the Written Tycoon filly, and really hit the line with gusto. So the final event for the day, and the drift in the market out to 225 God's Gate. AHYEAHRIGHTO, $10 pop, taking out the final event, the Big D Tiger Jock Handicap. Lockie Taylor's about to join us to round it all out. God's Gate, well, it doesn't lose any admirers. Again, having to really step it up there. They've run sharp time this afternoon again, and it's taken a fair horse in AHYEAHRIGHTO to cut it down. Love the run of Ron's Final Flutter at the end of the 1200 there. Absolutely monstered the line. Camera Action wasn't that bad either, back behind them. And it picked off a few as well in the run to the post, I've just noted there in the replay. But let's go downstairs, because Brad Graham, who has teamed up with Brad Parnham, is down in the yard, and he's with Lockie Taylor after the victory of AHYEAHRIGHTO.
Thanks, Darren. A really nice way to finish the day for Brad Graham and Brad Parnham indeed. A strong class 3 with God's Gate leading almost all the way, but AHYEAHRIGHTO, he put the writing on the wall last start, didn't he, Brad? How's he been since then?
Yeah, his work's been super. I nominated him for Saturday, and we were down in the emergency, so we scratched and nominated for today, and we drew 1 and dictated where I went.
Talk us through your programming this time in. He's had the 3 starts at the 1,000, and even today over 1,200 metres. You can see at stages he still wants to over-race a fraction. Have you just been trying to get the horse to relax, because you know if he does have that turn of foot late?
Yeah, he's just one of those horses that in the shorters, they get him off the bit, and when you charge him up, he over races and does things wrong. And I've kept him at the thousands to that. But after his last run, Brad said, look, it's time to step him up now. And the further we go, I think the better he's going to be.
How quickly do you look to step him up in trip now? Obviously, you've been very patient keeping him at the 1,000, and today you still want to do a little bit wrong. Does he now need to do this education phase at the 1,200 before he goes to 14?
Yeah, I think so. I think another 12, and he can probably go to a grad now, and then you step from there to 66s and then 72s, and then hopefully you're good enough to take on the big boys.
What's his ceiling? How does he compare to a horse like Brave Venture?
Two different horses. This horse is just jump and go, and I think eventually he'll want a box seat and awkward lead in the future, where the other fella, he just sits and relaxes. He's just a gentleman, and he's a really good horse, Brave Venture. And he's back in work, so look out for him.
Exciting times ahead, even though this boy may be a little bit of a handful. I'm sure it's all worthwhile. Well done.
Yeah, it is. Thank you.
There's Brad Graham, and here's Bradley Parnham.
From one Brad to another Brad, this horse is going through his grades really nicely.
Yeah, he is. He obviously won nicely at Northern there, and then went to town, and he ran a really good race. I just thought he was looking for a 1,200 now. The 1,000, they just sort of run along a bit quick for him, and he takes a little bit to get balanced up. So, yeah, the 12 was always going to suit him today, especially from the gate, and yeah, I'm glad it was, because he sort of needed every bit of the 12 to get down to run down Dad's horse.
Looks as though the faster they go in the middle stages, the better it is for him, because he can get a bit on the chewy.
He can do, but I mean, I did kick him out today. I didn't want too many crossing me, because I knew God's Gate was going to be pretty hard to beat. So ordinarily, I probably could have been a little bit kinder to him and let another one cross me, but I just felt I couldn't give too big a lead to that horse. So I kicked him up early, and then, he settled all right, but he still has a tendency to want to race strong. So he was pretty good today, and yeah, he finished the job off well.
As you said last start, he held his own on a Saturday, but it looks like in time with a bit more maturity, he'll win one of those.
I think so, and like I say, I think 1,200's his go now. He's just, he's probably, like I say, they're too sharp over the 1,000, so, over a 12, who knows, maybe even down the track, maybe a 14, but he hit the line well today, so we'll see where he goes from here.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
There's Brad Parnham combining with Brad Graham and AHYEAHRIGHTO to round out the day as a winner. Scott, in terms of highlights throughout this afternoon's program, 4 3-year-olds saluting. God's Gate was almost the 5th, but AHYEAHRIGHTO, he's a progressive and lightly raced 4-year-old.
He certainly is. Lockie, there's plenty more in store for him there. I think the highlight for the day is the realisation with all those winners suggesting that maybe they'd like to go towards a race like a Burgess Queen, that we're not that far away now. It was 3 weeks yesterday till Melbourne Cup Day, which means that for those fillies, a lot of them can go straight from their races today into that event. I mean, a Flower of Gold, very impressive. Diamond Dancer, very impressive. A Divine Impact did everything that she had to do. So all of a sudden they start to line up against each other, and we have a 3-year-old 1,400 here at Ascot on Saturday, and a filly like a Storyville probably heads up the betting in a race like that. And you'd imagine that's a perfect race for her as well.